All right, here we go. Trying to practice what I preach here, and going into this video with zero structure, zero pre-plan, just a couple of points in my head that I want to speak on. And I suppose it's appropriate for a park setting, but I know that a lot of you have limited time and limited attention spans in many cases, and you want to get to the point here. But what my point is that we get very tied to the need to pre-plan and make sure everything is ready and perfect, and make sure that we have a totally clear, crystal clear structure in our minds, and we know exactly what we're going to do, and we think about what we're going to do in advance, and we plan and we pre-plan. And I spoke about this in a recent video about burnout, and how a lot of us think we get burnout because we try to take on too much, and we misallocate the right wording of the phrase burnout, because what I think burnout really is psychological burnout. It is the need to rejuvenate psychologically. It is taking on too many thoughts. It is overthinking. That is when we feel we need to escape. That is when we feel we need to go on holiday. And what brought me to this is a new way of approaching work, rather than, and this is especially appropriate to those of you who have ambition, who have drive, and that's really all of us. Some of us haven't discovered that need yet, but we all have this innate human drive to want to do stuff and create and be creative nutbags. So what I'm saying here is, rather than running away from our reactive idea of taking on too much and wanting to do too much and taking a break from that physically, what we really need to be doing is figuring out how to psychologically rejuvenate from the amount of stuff that we put in our brains. We just think a lot. And what I'm saying is that a lot of work and a lot of activity and a lot of what is worth focusing on in business and in life and love and relationships and experiencing the world has nothing to do with thought, has nothing to do with planning, has nothing to do with thinking, because all of those things happen outside of reality. They happen outside of making things happen. And what I'm proposing is that we at least try, including myself, to do more, be more creative, commit to more stuff, or commit to something in depth and in confidence without thinking about it too much. And I know that creating something extraordinary and being aware of the work that we do and taking care in our work is important. And that can be done without thinking about things too much. You can, even though it feels like a complete contrast or a paradox, you can take care, you can be meticulous, you can be in love with the process of work, and you can be in total flow without thinking about it too much. Let's rewind. So I do a meditation every day, and you probably call it Vipassana, which is basically awareness meditation, where you're sitting there. I try and do it for 20 minutes plus every morning, and you just focus on your breath. You focus on the sensations of breath going in and out, and Vipassana translates as clear insight, or insight meditation. And it's really a means for you to drop thought and step aside from all the thoughts that barrage you. And it's a nice training exercise to get better and better, or get more, and to return really to how it's supposed to be, which is to be free of overthinking, free of thought, and to see things for the way that they truly are, which is just as is, and to allow truth to arise from our not labeling everything and not putting everything through a subjective lens. Very, very powerful technique, very powerful process, and it's relevant in this video because I want myself and you, if you're interested, in applying that approach to life to your work, to your creative work, to all other aspects of life. So rather than keeping Vipassana meditation to a small window in the morning and then forgetting about it and then getting back into the chaos of life, transferring that over and transferring that philosophy into all things. And what you'll find is, and I've been doing this more and more, is that by being biased to action and filling my day, filling my calendar with a lot of stuff, it's not necessarily what all the yogis would suggest you do. It's not necessarily what that man, the monk on the mountain, would suggest you do. He'd probably suggest you take it easy, mate. I'm ambitious. I want to get stuff done, and I love what happens when I create. I love seeing results in my life, and you probably do too. For those of you who do, and those of you who want to create big things and make an impact, consider the Vipassana approach to work, which is to fill your calendar, fill your day with creativity, with creation, with productivity, and everything else in between. So going for walks, meeting friends, interacting. Taking a break can be considered an active activity if you put it in your calendar and you bring consciousness to that break. Just don't think about it all too much. You could save so much time and create so much more by not spending half the day, like I have been known to, planning for the second half of the day. The only plan you need to be doing, and there is still a purpose for a plan, and that is to very quickly remind yourself of all your goals, all your dreams. That's important. And then a quick whip through of all the things you want to be doing that day and amp it up a bit. Be comfortable with making more, and be comfortable with taking activities and taking actions and diving into things that feel fearful. Those are always good signs, good indications rather than indications of what to avoid. And bring it on, and be comfortable with not knowing what on earth you are doing, because in the same way that when you sit and meditate and you allow truth to bubble up between thought, because you're turning down the rate of thought, you're stilling your mind. In taking a still mind to work and taking a still mind to the rest of life, you're going to be delivered with insights. Just you try this. You're going to be delivered with an intelligence that shows you everything of what you need to do. If I could bring a very, very simple analogy just to cement this idea and make it clear to those of you who are at the back of the class not listening and lacking in belief in what I'm saying. What's going on behind me? These people kissing. Okay, well, that's added a little bit of entertainment to the video. Where was I? I've completely lost my train of thought. This is what happens when you see people pulling in the background. It's all part of life's rich pageant, life's rich texture. Basically, take this idea of the insights that are revealed when you still your mind, and take that stillness of mind to your work. What you're going to find is that a hell of a lot more gets done. You are delivered intelligence that makes the work extraordinary, because you are not thinking, you are not outside of reality, you are in it, you are in the throes of that creative activity. And if that means that you need to start something in small steps, in awkward steps, feeling vulnerable, feeling weird, and making and producing something that isn't particularly good, that is going to turn into something amazing when you stick with it and you allow those insights to come through the thought that you're trying to force things with. I know that I'm getting very seemingly esoteric and out of what is politically correct and sort of beyond the side, kind of stepping off track here in terms of what is accepted, what is the done thing, what is the executive coaching style. I'm moving into the, the world of thought reduction, the esoteric world. But this has been pretty important for me, and I'm seeing this needed more and more in society, where people are saying, oh, we're being burned, we're burning out because we're doing too much. And really, it's not about doing too much, it's about thinking too much. So bring less thought to your activity. That's my word for today. Hope that made some sense. If it didn't, let me know in the comments. If it did, let me know in the comments. Do subscribe, do like this video if you liked it, and I will see you in the next video.